Ever wonder why some guys can text a girl once and she's hooked, while others send message after message just to get left on read? Let me hit you with a hard truth. Most men text like they live, bland, predictable, and forgettable. They open with, "Hey," or "How's your day?" like that's supposed to spark anything. And then they're shocked when the convo dies faster than their last situationship. But here's the thing. Texting isn't about typing. It's about tension. It's not what you say, it's what you make her feel. Every message should trigger something. Curiosity, intrigue, even a little chaos. And if you're the kind of guy who's tired of being the one who chases, tired of feeling invisible in her DMs, then keep watching, because I'm about to give you 3 deadly effective texting secrets most men will never hear about. Once you understand these, something shifts. Suddenly, she starts checking her phone for you, not because you begged for her attention, but because you finally became the man who doesn't need it. And here's where the Stoic mindset kicks in. See, the ancient Stoics understood something modern men forgot. The man who controls his emotions controls the room. They taught that real strength isn't in chasing approval. It's in mastering your impulses, not reacting but choosing when and how to respond. Apply that same mindset to texting. You become the guy who doesn't chase. He draws people in. You don't try to impress. You impress by not trying. So give me 30 seconds and I'll give you something better than a pickup line. A psychological edge that makes her feel something deep and makes you unforgettable. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships using the power of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. All right, let's get into it. Texting secret number 1, the unfinished story trick. Let me ask you something. Ever noticed how some guys try way too hard when texting? You know the type. Long-winded messages, perfect spelling, trying to crack a joke in every line. It's like they're auditioning for the role of Mr. Perfect, desperately trying to win her approval. And how does that work out for them? It doesn't. You know what actually gets her attention? Leaving her hanging. Yep, you heard me, on purpose. Let me explain why. Picture this. You're watching a movie and just as it starts getting good, you have to pause it. You're frustrated, right? Your mind's spinning, asking, what the hell happened next? Or maybe a song you love cuts off right before the best part. Doesn't it drive you crazy? That feeling, it's real. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. And it's rooted in the fact that your brain hates unfinished business. It obsesses over it. You can't stop thinking about how things were left hanging. Now, here's the kicker. Women feel the exact same way, especially when you text them. This is where the unfinished story trick comes into play, and it works like a charm. Here's how you can use it to flip the script. Instead of texting her something like, "You won't believe what happened today," and then immediately laying out the whole story, stop, pause, drop a cliffhanger. Try something like this. "You won't believe what happened today, but I'll tell you later," or "Ran into someone crazy today, but I'll save the story for when I see you." Boom. You didn't just send a text, you planted a thought bomb in her mind. Now, she can't stop thinking about it. What happened? Who did you run into? Why are you so mysterious? That curiosity starts eating away at her. She's the one chasing the conversation now, not you. You see, most guys are stuck in this boring, predictable loop, like human customer service bots. Answer every question, offer a full explanation, keep it nice and safe. But here's the thing, where's the intrigue in that? Where's the challenge? Where's the mystery? There isn't. That's why this method is a game changer. You stop chasing her validation and instead, you give her a reason to chase you. Now you're not just another guy in her phone. You're the guy who keeps her wondering, the one who stands out in a sea of text-based mediocrity. And it's not just about texting. This principle works everywhere. Let's say you're on a date with her. She leans in and asks, "So, what do you do for fun?" The old, predictable response would be to list off everything you're into, right? Wrong. That's a resume, not a conversation. Instead, give her a look, smile, and say, "That's hard to explain. You kinda have to see it." Now, just like that, she's hooked. She wants to know. She's leaning in, hanging on your every word. You've just become unforgettable. You've sparked real interest with a simple phrase, and without even trying, you've positioned yourself as mysterious, complex, and memorable. Here's the brutal reality, my friend. Women don't fall for the nice guy who tries too hard. They fall for the man who keeps her on her toes. The guy who has self-control, who doesn't let his emotions run wild at the drop of a hat. That's where the Stoic mindset comes into play. The Stoics, those ancient masters of mental discipline, didn't let their emotions dictate their actions. They didn't chase external validation. They understood the power of control, not in the sense of controlling others, but in controlling how they responded to situations. The Stoic understood that when you're predictable, you're forgettable. When you're controlled and give just enough to keep her wanting more, you're unforgettable. So next time you're texting, remember, don't just feed her the answers. Don't reveal everything in one message. Instead, make her earn it. Make her wonder. That's how you become the man she can't stop thinking about. All right, I want to hear from you. In the comments, type, "I'm the prize," and she's gotta earn my attention. If you're ready to start flipping the script with these texting tricks, let's get it. Texting secret number 2, the emotional roller coaster. All right, let's get real for a second. Here's a hard truth you need to hear. Women don't fall for nice guys. They don't care about your good intentions, your politeness, or your over-the-top efforts to be Mr. Perfect. You know what they fall for? Feelings, emotions that move them. That's the secret. Now, let me break this down for you. Think about the last movie or TV show you were hooked on. Was it your favorite because everything went perfectly smooth the whole time? Nope. The best stories aren't predictable. They're wild. They take you on a ride. There are highs, there are lows, there are unexpected twists. That's what keeps you glued to your seat, right? Now, apply that to texting. If your messages are predictable, safe, and always the same, she's going to get bored fast. And trust me, she won't even feel bad about it. But if your texts make her feel something, if they stir emotions, laughter, curiosity, surprise, that's when you've got her hooked. She won't even know why, but suddenly she's checking her phone every few minutes waiting for you to hit her up again. And here's the kicker. She won't be able to stop herself. So how do you do it? Let's start simple. Tease her. No, not in a mean or creepy way. Tease her in a playful way that challenges her just enough to make her react, to make her feel like she's in a little game with you. Let's say she texts, "I love sushi." You don't just reply with a boring, "Same." That's the kiss of death. You reply, "Sushi." That's such a basic choice. "I thought you had a more dangerous side." Boom. Now she's laughing, defending her sushi preference, and engaged. You've turned a simple conversation into an emotional moment. You've created a little tension that she's going to remember. Next, unpredictability. Let's be clear, consistency is overrated. If you're texting her the same "good morning" message every day, you're just another guy in the background. Robots do that. But you're not a robot. You're a man who controls the narrative. Instead of the same old "good morning," disappear for a little while, and then text something like, "Just saw something that reminded me of you," still deciding if it's a compliment or not. Now she's hooked. She's curious, wondering what reminded you of her. And while she's wondering, she's smiling. That's how you break her patterns and keep her thinking about you. Let's take it up a notch. Instead of the cliche "I miss you" text, try something like, "I walked past this little cafe today." And the smell, it was exactly like your perfume. Messed with my head a little. Now she's feeling something. She's picturing that exact moment. And more importantly, she's picturing you in that moment, connecting your scent to her thoughts. You've just created an experience in her mind, and every time she thinks about it, she thinks about you. Here's the big idea. Don't be predictable. Don't be a robot who sends the same dull texts. Be a man who makes her feel. Make her feel surprise, playfulness, curiosity, warmth. And when you do that, your texts aren't just messages anymore. They become experiences. They're moments that she's going to replay in her head over and over. Now here's where the Stoic mindset comes into play. Stoicism teaches us the power of self-mastery, the ability to control our actions and emotions, regardless of the chaos around us. But that doesn't mean we suppress emotions. It means we use them strategically, just as you would when texting. Stoics understood that emotions, when controlled, could be incredibly powerful tools to shape interactions. Think about this. The Stoic doesn't need to show all his cards at once. He doesn't flood someone with information or feelings that aren't earned. Instead, he creates moments that build tension and hold power. In a world of oversharing, he's the man who knows when to speak and when to let silence or mystery do the work. By making your texts unpredictable and emotionally charged, you're mastering the art of controlled tension, a skill every Stoic understands. You're controlling the emotional ride, not by being emotionally distant, but by choosing when and how to let her emotions move. Once you've got this down, trust me, she won't be waiting for your texts. She'll be anticipating them, just like the next episode of her favorite show, and you'll have become the guy she can't forget, the guy who keeps her coming back for more. Texting secret number 3, the reverse chase strategy. All right, let's get brutally honest for a second. You send her a text. She takes hours to reply. And what's your first reaction? You panic. You start second-guessing everything. You fire off another text, maybe 2, double texting like a desperate dog. You send longer messages, emojis, maybe even throw in a meme or some other attempt to make her laugh, all in the hopes that she'll finally show some interest. But here's the harsh truth, bro. The more you chase, the faster she pulls away. You're not helping your cause. You're digging your own grave. Women don't want some guy who's too available, too eager, or too easy to get. They want a man with a life, a man who's a challenge, a man who doesn't just give away his attention like candy at a carnival. And that's exactly where the reverse chase strategy comes in. This strategy is as simple as it gets, but man, it packs a punch. Instead of doubling down and giving her even more attention when she takes forever to reply, you do the complete opposite. You mirror her. If she takes 3 hours to reply, you take 6. If she sends a one-word dry response, you hit her with something even shorter, maybe just a lol or a simple emoji. And here's the wild part. It works. You see, by mirroring her, you're creating tension. She starts to wonder, what's going on? Why isn't he all over me? She starts checking her phone more. She starts asking herself, why am I not getting his attention? And eventually, she starts chasing you. It's called intermittent reinforcement, a fancy term for a very simple psychological trick. It's the same thing casinos use to keep people glued to slot machines. You don't know when the reward is coming, so you keep pulling the lever. And in this case, bro, you are the jackpot. Let me break it down for you with a quick example. Let's say you text her, just found this awesome little coffee spot. You'd love it. She replies 5 hours later with, nice, what's it called? Now, most guys, they're jumping at the chance to reply immediately. They spill the details. It's called bean bliss. They have the best lattes and super cozy couches, but not you, number. You've got a plan. Instead of replying right away, you wait. You chill. Let her sweat a little. After a couple of hours, you drop, I forgot the name. But the espresso, top tier. Boom. You just flipped the script. You've now shown her that you've got a life. You're not sitting around waiting for her. You've created space, and guess what? Now she's the one trying to figure you out. But here's the thing, and this is where the Stoic mindset really shines. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending that you don't care about the outcome. It's about owning your own narrative and not letting outside forces control your state of mind. In this case, your behavior doesn't come from a place of desperation or uncertainty. It comes from a place of inner strength, the kind of strength that says, I don't need her approval to feel good about myself. I don't need her attention to validate my existence. By flipping the script and not chasing, you're exercising the Stoic principle of detachment. You're not attached to her replies. You're not desperate for her attention. You're perfectly fine on your own. If she wants to be part of your life, she has to earn it. And that subtle shift in energy, that's what makes you stand out. The most powerful part of this strategy, it doesn't just put you in control of the situation, it makes her want to impress you. She'll start seeing you as the prize, not the other way around. She'll be the one vying for your attention. And once you master this, man, you'll see the difference. She'll be the one chasing, and you'll be the one making decisions about who gets to be part of your life. Because here's the bottom line. The more you chase, the more you push her away. But when you stop chasing, when you start creating that tension and owning your own value, that's when she starts coming to you. And when that happens, you're in control. And that's when the real power dynamics start to shift in your favor. Now here's the million-dollar question. Will you actually use this strategy? Because most guys, they'll just go back to texting like customer service agents, explaining too much, texting too fast, chasing girls who barely even care. But you know better now. You're going to create mystery. You're going to stir emotions. You're going to flip the game and let her chase you. So the next time you grab your phone to text her, remember this. Texting isn't just talking. It's power. It sets the tone. It builds the tension. And when you learn to use it right, you won't have to wonder where you stand with her. You'll know. If this helped, hit that like, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. Until next time, stay calm, stay cool, and always stay in control.